I've been trying to tell this story. I'm going to try one more time. Not because it's because I kind of feel compelled to tell it. Sort of like that Tiger Pants story. It was the first video I made on here on YouTube that I was just being myself. I felt compelled to tell that story. This is another one like it. The problem is, it's so bad what I did that every time I tell it, I apologize after every sentence, pretty much. Just apologize. I can't do that. If I was that sorry, I wouldn't have done it, for one thing, and it's too late now for another. And so I'm just going to tell the story. No apologies. Just going to tell it, and let the video stand as its own apology. This happened, or I did this when I was a young teenager. I don't remember how old, but what happened was, it was summertime. The family was going on vacation, and I convinced my parents to let me stay home, and they would go and take all my brothers with them on vacation, because I had a job at the zoo. And they did. They left me home alone. It was like, oh man, I was so excited. So they left at like 6:30 in the morning. By 6:33, I was smoking a joint and watching TV in the sun porch, you know, laying on the floor with my head on the sofa and trying to figure out what to do that day. And being stoned and being a young idiot, I had a whole bunch of stupid ideas, and I picked one. And the stupid idea I picked was, I'm going to put a pile of bread out in the yard like I used to do when I was a kid, and find a BB gun, and when birds come, I'm going to plink at the birds. Ha ha ha, you know. So I put a pile of bread out there where I could see it from the sun porch, see it from the window. I cracked the window. I look around the house, and I found my brother's old pellet gun, which is actually a very powerful, it's an old Crossman 570 pump action. And found the pellets, you know. So I set the stuff up by the window, and I continued watching TV and smoking weed. Every once in a while I look out the window, no birds, no birds, no birds. One time I look out there, and there is a full-grown rabbit standing there eating this bread. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. I grabbed the gun, and I got it under the window, and I'm pumping it up, trying to be quiet, you know. Because I'm thinking to myself, because I stopped hunting. My whole family hunts and fishes, you know. I stopped when I was like 11 because I read somewhere that fish go into shock when you hook them, and it just ruined the whole thing for me. I couldn't fish anymore. I didn't feel like hunting anymore. But this was my chance to be a hunter. You know, if I shot this rabbit and cleaned him and ate him, I was a hunter. So I pumped the gun up, aim at this thing real carefully. Man, I hit him right in the ear. He flipped over on his back. He was instantly dead. So I go out in the yard and I pick him up. And now I'm thinking, oh man, like it's 10:30 in the morning. I hope the neighbors didn't see me shoot the neighborhood rabbit, you know. So I hide him when I'm going in. So I'm already starting to feel guilty. But I get him in the house. All right, now I'm going to clean him and eat him. So I get out cutting board, put it on the counter. I get out the biggest knife in the drawer, which I found out years later was actually a bread knife. I didn't know. It was a big metal knife. I thought, hey, you know. Had these weird serrations. It was for cutting bread. So I put this rabbit down. I'm thinking, now how the hell do you clean a rabbit? I don't know. Cut his head off first. I don't know. That's what I figured. So I start cutting his head off with this bread knife, and it's going really poorly because the bread knife isn't designed for that. So as I'm cutting, his blood is just everywhere. This rabbit's just bleeding everywhere. All over him. I mean, my arms up to the elbows. The rabbit's coated head to toe in blood. It's going really slowly, and I'm getting really sick. But I'm forcing myself to continue because I'm not going to be a sissy and waste this rabbit. I shot him, so I should have the decency to clean him and eat him. So I cut all the way down to his spine. And I'm almost through. But, you know, once I get to the spine, this stupid knife with the weird serrations, it sticks in his spine. So I'm trying to cut, and this rabbit's head is just going back and forth like this. And now I'm just sick to my stomach. So I yanked the knife out. I'm done. Now I just have to get rid of this rabbit and try to forget the whole thing. So I'm looking at disposal. So I take this bloody rabbit and I stuff him head first down the disposal. And I got him all the way down there except his hind legs were sticking out. And I think, well, I'll grind up the top part and then I'll grind up, you know. So I turn on the disposal and this rabbit's back legs just start whipping around like this. And it shot blood all over the kitchen, all over everything. The walls, part of the ceiling, the cabinets, knickknacks, the shelves, me, everything had drops of blood on it. So I shut the disposal down, pull out this now horribly mangled rabbit, stuff him in one of those wax paper milk cartons, and threw him in the garbage, and I spent the rest of the morning cleaning up the kitchen and feeling like crap. And that was my one and only hunting experience. Well, no, actually, after that I went goose hunting twice. That was it. And thank God I never hit anything.